Still feeling terrible. This is a very long cold. It is just a cold. We did COVID tests at home, COVID test, negative. So before anyone even makes a comment about that, it's just standard cold. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take off this mirror so that we can patch up the holes in this door. Then we're gonna caulk around the rest of the bathroom. And then we're gonna take it from there because I'm not feeling well. So. Ta-da! Now, I do suggest using a bigger screwdriver, like a normal screwdriver, but this was already up here, so I didn't want to go downstairs and back up. And these are screws. Go figure. Ugh. This seems to be a popular thing with this house, and I don't know if it's just that they started some projects and then didn't finish others, or if they deliberately did these things where it's just a hodgepodge mismatch of things. And like this door is all kind of like scratched and scuffed up. I don't think they had a pet, but it's just like, why is this door so wretched? And then the door on our son's bedroom was actually like coming off the hinges, so that was fun. So we fixed that. All right, oh, I'm already wiped. So I'm going to sand down these holes so that it's a nice smooth surface, no splinters, slivers, whatever. Then I'm going to patch in the holes. You can use either, so this is a hollow door. And because I have no intention of staining the doors anymore, I'm going to be painting them. I don't need to worry about specifically using a wood glue or a wood crayon. I can if I want, but the thing with the wood glue and the wood crayon is that there is always going to be some sort of pliability with it. So I want it to create a solid flat surface. So I'm actually going to spackle these holes since I'm painting the door. If I was staining the door, I would use a wood glue. I am so out of breath already. Anyway, okay. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go get the spackle. We're gonna spackle up these holes. Then we're gonna get started on the caulking. This is the sanding sponge I'm using. DryDex spackle. Everybody's seen this stuff. If it's not pink inside, it's not usable. I'm just gonna use my finger because I don't care. And just push it into the holes. Cake it on there because you can sand it out and make it pretty. You want to make sure that hole is completely filled because you can sand off the excess. But you're not going to want to have to wait yet another 2 hours for this to dry when you realize you didn't fill the hole. So fill the hole. In this case, fill the 2 holes they made. Not the best angle, I know. Faucet in the shot, towel in the shot, but this is the best angle I could get so you can see me on both of these door trim areas. Anyway, next I'm going to take a wet rag and I'm going to wipe down the edges of the trim because I'm going to be caulking around the trim, and it's very important when caulking that your surface area is clean and dry. I cannot breathe. And it's driving me crazy, and I don't want to deal with quarter round or anything like that. I don't want to make this a huge project, the bottom of the trim, but there's a gap, and it's because I'm assuming this used to be carpeted because of the size of the gap. I'm assuming it was carpeted, and instead of cutting out that part of the trim and wrapping the tile around whenever they did this floor, they just left a huge gap at the bottom. I am very particular about details. I can't leave it like that. So I'm filling it with caulking. and then just making sure I level it out, smooth it out with the bottom edge. Because it's at the bottom, it will not be noticeable that it's not perfectly in line with the curvature, I guess you would say, of the trim. But it will give it a finished look. Right now, you can significantly see the gap, and it's driving me crazy. So, I'm gonna get that wiped off. Because, you know, the floor is also another area that sees a lot of dust and dirt. And let's be real, my hair. Oh, see? That one was terrible. Don't forget the underneath area, the bottom there. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go wipe down my surfaces in the guest bathroom. I don't think I'm gonna record that because it's not really that interesting. I just leave you here and not adjust the angle. I think I like that better. It's time to caulk. Now, for trim, things like trim and baseboards and whatnot, I'm using Alex Plus. The DAP brand Alex Plus. I get this from Home Depot, and I have learned this from my own experience. Do not use this in any area that has moisture. Even though it says windows, if you can see it, windows and doors, I do not suggest using this. Do not use this around your bathroom sinks or your counters. It is not that kind of a caulking. I would suggest getting a silicone based, not a acrylic latex caulk plus silicone based caulking for around your sinks. However, this is the way to go if you're just trying to close gaps, which is what I'm doing. So, I'm gonna go ahead, get started on that. So I do suggest doing the 1/8" cut and then going up from there if you need to, because then you'll also have a nice clean line. I use this little guy from Husky for my grout cleanup, or I'll use my finger. Right now my nails are kind of long, so I will probably use this. And a lot of people probably don't even know this, but if you look on it, well, anyway, if you look at this, there are measurements that tell you which corner to use. It comes off and you can move it around to the size that you need. So I am I'm basically at 3/16. Whew, I am so out of breath. So I'm at 3/16 probably with this bottle of caulking. This is a caulking gun. Real cheap from the store. Actually, I have 3 of them. And this is how this operates. So you would push this in, then you push this in until you reach the end, and then you just start pumping and it'll start coming out. To release the pressure, as soon as you're done, take this off and pull. You need to release the pressure, otherwise it's gonna keep going. It's just gonna keep coming out. If you do a sloppy job, it's fine. Just wipe it up with your finger or wipe it up with a paper towel. Just clean it up. And then if you have a spot where it didn't clean up, let's pretend like this is all caulking overlay, you just paint over it. It's paintable. So let's go ahead and get started. You're gonna have to stare at my butt for a moment. I'm gonna do time lapse because I'm gonna put on some music while I do this. I've been trying to hide, stop dancing, you're on camera. This is a tricky spot.